Good morning, John Neal here. It's Friday the 3rd of November 2023 and Chris Cottrell, God bless him, has an inner geek and he wants to know where the sewage line goes, the new one that they're building, goes from Hinckley to Hartshill. Well, we're going to find out. Come with me.
I'm going to cross that county line where the countryside is fine. I'm going to mosey on down Hinckley town someday.
Well, the first thing we've got to do is cross the county line, and this is the county line. This is the A5, the Watling Street, on the quite busy junction with the Longshoot. The Longshoot's that pub over there. Interesting fact, I lived in one of these houses for about 6 months. 42 years ago. Stayed with some friends while we were between moving houses, and it was fascinating living on the A5 here because particularly at weekends you'd see lots of people going by with old motorbikes, cars. They were on going off to rallies and that for the weekend, but they would use this route a lot. And you'd even get, coming along this route, old aeroplanes and helicopters using the A5 as a navigation point. See, things you learn. Right, got to press on to Hinckley, and I'm going to go along the canal line, which will take me further into the countryside, where I think the sewage line is being built. So let's go there. I hope you can hear me on top of all this. Nuts, isn't it? Here I'm going north on the A47 to the west of Hinckley, and you'll notice it's got a cycleway, which is good news. We know Jim likes a map, so here we are. Here's the Longshoot Road. This is the pub, that's where I've just stood. So I'm going to go along here. This is the A5, the Watling Street. There we go, Roman Road at Watling Street. And go up here, the A47, which goes to the left of Hinckley, up to this point where the canal cuts under, and then see if I can go along this way to see where the sewage line is. I know it moves from here and goes this direction, but I'm not sure what happens over here. So over to this bridge here. Well, I have arrived at the canal, which is on the west side of Hinckley. I was half thinking of it being over there, but I'm all right. I might have to go down by the side of the canal. It looks pretty big, look at it, huge. There's a very substantial new bridge here as well, which I think tribute to whoever's built it. So I want to head off that way, more to the west, where it's a bit quieter too. Not easy to get down. I've said all that praise for the bridge, and look at the way I've got to get my bike over this lot. Oh dear. Right, let's give it a try. Well, I sincerely hope you appreciate the intrepid vlogger, elderly vlogger, the lengths to go to satisfy my customers. Whew. It is a nice bridge. The graffiti's not up to much though. Right, let's go this way and see what we can find. Well, I have to say, that was a nice fight, very pleasant. The sun's out again. Still, what I'm going to do is press on. I know the canal goes along this way
towards Higham on the hill, there's a basin there. I go over it, over the bridge nearly every time I go out for a ride, so I know where I'm going. The path's not too bad, so let's press on. It's an adventure, isn't it? This is a little bit better along here. This is better, crikey. But it's a bit of a challenge. Actually, the electric bike's interesting because it's, as I just touch the pedals, it pushes me forwards, which slightly unnerving, out of control feeling. But oh, here we go. Ooh.
And the works that we know of, that we can see and have filmed before, and this is the A5, and it looks as if the sewage line, the new one, goes along here, which is fairly close to the road. So I'm in slightly the wrong place here. Approaching the bridge that takes the road from Higham on the Hill over the Ashby Canal, and I've stopped here many times. It's where there are a number of boats stored.
Ah, nice, peace and quiet. I know where I am now. Look, it's Higham Basin. It's a lovely spot, and look at the weather. I thought the clouds were going to come over, as they generally do. It starts off nice and then clouds over, but all is well. So today's plan was to trace out this sewage works line from Hinckley to Hartshill, and it was a good idea just to head into the countryside near where I thought it was by going along this side of the canal, and I can see no trace of it. So but look, it's a nice day, so it's not a failure, is it? Just happens to have a saw going at the same time. Well, I know the works for this sewage line are down there, which is about barely a mile away, and I'm currently going along Bar Lane, which is in Higham on the Hill. This is an area I know well, been here often. We walk along here as a matter of course, and I'm sure if I stop along here I can fly the drone over that direction and see where it goes off that way. Bit of a mystery really, isn't it? Bar Lane, don't you love it?
Now we can see what's what. That's the works at the top of Higham Lane there on the right, and then all the works across the field go here, and it's not just one straight line. It takes a complete right turn there, look, and it goes near the A5 and then seems to disappear off near the roundabout by the long chute. And I also noticed there's a big pond here on the left, which I didn't even know was there. And as we look back towards the west, we can see Higham Lane there. This is some sort of access road, I think, I'm not sure. And there seems to be piles of stone and ballast there. Maybe somebody can explain.
It seems that the major works are down here, and it sort of turns, I don't know, back towards the A5, the trenches and all the workings, a little bit short of the long shoot. So I think it doesn't cut any further into Hinckley. Maybe it just joins it with the sewer that's already there and then cuts across this field over towards the direction of Hartshill anyway. So I think the next thing to do is to go down to the top of Higham Lane and have a look across the fields again that way and see where it goes, and then finally get the last bit of the route, as it must cross the Weddington Road somewhere. Let's press on. Those of you who've watched all the videos, and why haven't you, you'll realise I'm now coming down Weddington Walk from the A5 past the famous graffiti spot, and what a lovely walk it is too. Let me just show you again. Look at that. The fields are very wet, look. Very wet. There's a veritable lake here. Oh, it's a squirrel. No, it's not. It's a lump of something else. Right, well, I've been here before and we've looked at all the archaeological strips they've dug out, and they're all full of water now. I wonder if they're going to conclude that they found some Roman baths, or is it, you know, a foot bath? Those Romans, they wore sandals, they had to keep their feet clean. Anyway, down here it will be a good spot to have a look and see where this sewer line goes, because I'm a bit puzzled. So I know it starts over there, but where does it cross the Weddington Road? So if I go along here a little bit and then go up in the air, we'll see what's going on. Here I'm looking down the Weddington Walk, and to the right hand side is the southwest, and there's not much going on there. There's a couple of chaps there digging a trench of some sort, but not the major works that we can see on the other side. So if we swing round to the north and look east back towards Higham Lane, you can see all these archaeological trenches and a lot of extensive work having gone on. Notice how that access road seems to loop round into the middle of the hedge. I don't know why they do that. So looking back again towards the Weddington Walk, the works just seems to stop, and there's a couple of fields, and just top left you can see where I'm going next. And then as we make our way over towards the Weddington Road, you can see the work starts, and there's clear indication of where they're doing the pipeline there. I can't go much further than this because the piece of string that I control the drone with only stretches so far. If you wondered how they got the pipeline across the road and the river and the canal and the railway and so on, well, they tunnel down below about 40 feet and then bring it back up again. Clever. It's the next day. This is an extended project, and yeah, I've come back to almost where I started from yesterday, but I thought I'd go that way and find some evidence of this sewage line, but no, it actually is here. I'm at the back of Oldie by the A5. You can see the main road there, and if I peer over the hedge, which I did, I can see that the sewage line comes here. Now where it goes after that I'm still not sure, so I'm going to take the drone up and have a better look from in the sky. Okay, let's get on with that.
Before I start, I must say supermarket car parks are a great place to fly from because it's usually quiet and there's not many obstructions above, so if Aldi object to me doing so, I apologise. And here we are. This is the workings of the sewage line coming into and towards Hinckley. It's only a pipe. Those black pipes there look stacked up. You can see how big each pipe would be. So it's not a huge undertaking. You couldn't drive a mini car through it like they did the sewers in Coventry for that film. So it's fairly modest, and they can tunnel underneath things as well, like roads and railways and what have you. And here we are looking west towards Higham Lane, and we're just north of the A5. You can see the cars on the left of the picture, look. It's interesting to see that they've taken a strip of land across these fields, which must be 40 or 50 metres across, but I suppose it just gives them access to the work that they need to do. Swinging back round, we can see this big, almost a lake. Here it is on the map. It's by this Muslim college. The pond or lake doesn't have a name. Let me tell you something about this college though. A couple of years ago, folk came by and offered some curry at one of their festivals. I think it was Eid, which is very, very nice of them. Anyway, I digress. Let's look east again along the A5, Hinckley on the left, look, and from a bird's eye view you can see the workings very close to these back gardens that come onto the A5. We're now approaching the big roundabout, Dodwell's roundabout I think it is. Next to, look, you can see the new McDonald's below us, and somehow they've got to tunnel underneath the road to get over this side. And along the field, and I think that's probably as far as it goes, because there is another sewage works in Hinckley, and I presume down here near this waste recycling plant is where it finishes. I might be wrong, but that's the start of the project, and the other end is at Hartshill Waterworks.
Well, there you have it. Okay, Chris, are you happy with that? I'm happy. And now we can clearly see where this new sewage line goes from Hinckley over to Hartshill. That was a good project. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much for suggesting it. And who knows what's going to happen next. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. And you'll see me next time. Okay. Bye-bye.